Hey, it's good to meet you. My name is Kurt Heisey, and I'm here to share with you a little bit of my story. 20 years ago, I had an idea for a machine. Now, I wasn't an engineer, and when I presented my idea to a variety of companies, every single company said, show me a little bit of what you're talking about. I showed them, and they all said, oh, you're not an engineer, are you? I said, no. If you were an engineer, they said, you would know that what you want to do would not work. You don't understand tensile strengths of steel and all that type of thing. So three companies turned us down. It wouldn't work. So we began to do it ourselves, and 20 years later, we have now exported to more than 30 countries. It's been a business that we've loved. It's been a business that has created actually millions of dollars of revenue for our company. So I want to tell you this as part of my story, that if you have an idea and you do nothing, you only have an idea. If you have an idea and you actually do something, there is the potential for just transforming your life and your finances and opening doors for so many things. So I'm going to share the screen with you because I'm going to share you another part of my story. And if you'll listen, you're going to see an opportunity there that if you take advantage of that opportunity and you do something, it could change the trajectory of your finances as well. So I'm going to share the screen here. So let me share that with you, and let's play. So this is my wife here, and we're going to tell you a little bit about our story. We know that technology is always advancing. From eons ago when man wanted to fly to 1903, the Wright brothers, the first transatlantic flight, and finally now a $750 billion industry that looked impossible in 1903. But technology is always advancing, and what I'm going to tell you about is an opportunity that's associated with the development of technology. And so listen carefully so that you don't miss what we're having. Now, I've been a pastor for more than 30 years. Now I oversee a number of churches, and we have some schools in China where I've been back and forth. We also have some manufacturing in China for our business, etc. I'm a business owner. I told you a little bit about our company, Liberty Seamless Enterprises. But what I'm going to share with you today is in a different venue, because about 5 years ago, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and my first degree was chemistry. And so when I'm listening to what the doctor wanted to do, I was like, Doc, that's a downward spiral. You're killing the good and the bad. I really don't like that. And she said, if you don't like what I want to do, then why don't you just leave? And I looked at my wife, and we left. Now, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I could find out cutting edge stuff. And I believed that what the doctor just told me. She had done 20 other people. I wasn't convinced that she had stayed on top of things after her residency. And so I didn't have that trust level. But I began to look around, and we found something. One thing that we found, we saw this 2005 primetime investigative report where Dr. McCord was claiming that he had developed something natural that reduced oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. Now, with a science background, we know that oxidative stress is the roots of all kinds of illnesses, diseases, because it affects every single organ and system in your body. It affects your lungs, your joints, your hearts, and skins. And that oxidative stress will then manifest itself with all kinds of symptoms, including the symptoms of the health breakdown often associated with the aging process. So this 2004 formula was clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. And folks, that was breakthrough technology in 2004. That was amazing. And when I saw that, I told my wife, not only are you going to take it, I'm going to take it for prevention. Well, the good news is a year and a half later, when my wife did blood tests, when she did full body thermographies and a variety of other things, there was no cancer. There was no precancer or inflammation in her breast. So we were reducing oxidative stress and our bodies healed themselves. I had had a rash on my back for 20 years that was gone. And I knew it was because we fixed the problems in our cells and our bodies healed themselves. So that video that aired in 2005 put the company right into the limelight, and they began to get their product out into stores, GNC's, Walgreens, CVS, a variety of stores, which is what anybody commonly would think is the best thing to do. But they were only averaging half a bottle per store per month. They were losing $1 million a month. And so in 2008, they hired David Brown as the CEO to come and turn things around. And what they thought was this: he has helped other companies turn around by getting major contract with some big box stores. But when David came in, he looked around and he says, listen, this is not a big box store product. People don't know about oxidative stress. They don't know how important it is. What's really going to make this take off would be network marketing, where people can hear the story behind it. So in 2009, he brought in Ryan Thompson to head up their sales, and their network marketing was launched. In 5 years, they went from $3 million in annual revenue, and again, they were losing every month, to $230 million a year. And the company just began to grow and stuff. So here's what they knew at that time. They knew that this reduced oxidative stress, but they didn't know how. And further research, in the middle of that picture there, you see Dr. Joe McCord. They began to find out that the reason it could reduce oxidative stress was activate something that's called Nrf2 or Nrf2. And so here is a study in 2011 by Brooks Hybertson, Dr. Gal Bose, and Dr. Joe McCord, who has won many, many awards and is cited many times in journals. They said that the oxidative stress in health and disease, that what was helping it was really the Nrf2 activation. And so the company grew, and eventually David Brown, Ryan Thompson left, Joe McCord, who was part of the company, he was out, and the company began to go on. Now, what happened to Joe McCord and these doctors is about 3 years ago, they developed a biotech company called Pathways Bioscience, and they got back together. Why? Because a scientist is a scientist is a scientist. He's always interested in is we could build a better one. We could advance the technology. We could keep learning. We could keep understanding. And they began to find things out about the Nrf pathway that they never knew before. And when they found out those things, they knew better ways to activate the Nrf2 pathway. And so Dr. Joe McCord, the president of the International Society of Antioxidant and Nutrition, nominated for Nobel Prize 4 times, awarded the Elliott Crescent Award, very prestigious scientist. That award that he got in 1997 is the same award that Alexander Graham Bell got for the telephone, the Wright brothers got for aviation, Tesla got for alternating current, the Currys got for antibiotics, Henry Ford got for the Industrial Revolution. So these are the people that are getting these breakthrough technology awards. Now, let me ask you a question. Has any money flowed because of the telephone? You know it. Has any money flowed because of aviation? You know it. How about electricity? How about antibiotics? How about the Industrial Revolution? Whenever there's a technological breakthrough, there's always a change in finances as well. It just depends on when you know about it and what you're going to do. So technology is always pushing forward. That's inevitable in the curiosity, creative nature that God's given us. So in the 1950s, free radicals and oxidative stress were discovered. That's back when they were still going, and we had party lines. In 1969, Dr. McCord discovered superoxide dismutase, which was a powerful way to reduce oxidative stress. And in 2003, he formulated and was part of the formulation of the first Nrf activator. And that's back when we had the flip phones. We had, that Nokia phone was really powerful, but none of us are using the flip phones anymore. None of us are using those little Nokia phones. Why? Because technology advanced. In 2017, Dr. McCord and his scientific team in Pathways created a formula for cellular defense called Nrf 2.0. GNMX is the name of the product. So what is the breakthrough? Well, take a look at this chart on Nrf 2 activation on liver cells. Notice in the blue bottle there, the efficacy of the Nrf 2 of the 2004 formula. Then there's other formulas that over the past year, Dr. McCord has been advancing, and finally, GNMX, which is much higher Nrf 2 activation, more to help the body fight off oxidative stress and things. So there's a lot of studies that are in progress, some breakthrough things that are happening in many different schools right now that are very interested in what Dr. McCord is doing. So when I first heard about this, I was like, you know what? I just think this might be hype. This might just be one company saying mine is better than yours. And so I decided that I'd do a test. So I took GNMX and I took people that had been on 2 of the 2004 formula. Compared that with 1 GNMX. And then we measured oxidative stress with Akers OxyCheck. And look at the charts that we see on what happened in 2 weeks, what happened in 4 weeks, what happened in 8 weeks. There was a reduction of about 18%. Now, remember, these people had been on 2 of the 2004 formula. We've taken the 2004 formula for several years. So we know that they had already reduced oxidative stress. Could they reduce it anymore? Well, I didn't know. But this was the only way that I personally knew that I could do a test to compare the two. So we did that, and the results were absolutely mind-blowing in reality. Then I had a problem. What was I going to do? So you look at the research that has happened since the first supplement activating Nrf2 by Dr. McCord. This published studies about Nrf 2. There's such an interest in it. And look at what happened in GNMX. It continues to be studying about Nrf2. So there's almost 10,000 studies on Nrf 2. And if you want to find out if GNMX is good for something, you just go to 10,000 studies and say, what does Nrf 2 do? And you can look at the effect on human liver cells again. And it's on McCord's 2004 formula versus GNMX, almost 10 times the efficacy on these human liver cells. So what does that mean? Well, that means that there's something very, very powerful in this product. And what Actives has done, the company Actives Global, is they have licensed the ability to market GNMX. Currently, it is in Mexico. It's going to be opening up in other countries, et cetera, as well. But Actives does not just license what initially attracted my attention. Again, this is my story. This is what attracted my attention. And then I'm in the U.S. GNMX has opened in Mexico, and I was introduced to Link, which they call cellular jet fuel, increasing metabolism, improving brain function. 85,000 studies on the active ingredient. And the patent on this is the first time that they have made butyric acid, the active ingredient, bioavailable by molecularly wrapping it so it gets to where it needs to be. So I began to look at studies. Again, this is my story. And I began to see, what is it? And so butyric acid helps with irritable bowel syndrome, which is a huge problem. The effects of butyric acid in liver mitochondria of male mice. And you began to see that the effects of butyric acid, on mitochondria, it increased the mitochondria function 300%. I immediately knew what that meant because I've been taking things to help mitochondria, but nothing near 300%. And this then got my attention. I began to look at more, and I saw that sodium butyrate, which is another form of it, is used in the treatment of inflammatory disease. So it's turning down inflammation. The Journal of Biochemistry, it's an important role for the treatment of colorectal cancer. How about another study from Biochemistry Journal? It's an important role in colorectal cancer. All in all, we're not going to go through all the studies, but it got my attention. I began to go to pubmed.gov. I saw that the brain and butyric acid, there was over 30,000 studies showing how this affects. Do you need brain power? Do you need to increase your brain, your focus? Folks, here's what we got. We have something that there's 30,000 studies that we have made bioavailable on how it affects the brain. How about mitochondria? You need increased energy and power, or has that run down? Are you tired? Are you wake up to groggy? Increase your mitochondria. Over 1,800 studies. Metabolism. A lot of people that take butyric acid find that they fix their gut, and as they fix their gut, what happens? They begin to lose some pounds. Inflammation. 1,200 studies. The immune system. 800 studies. And whenever you fix the gut, butyric acid actually is what your lining of your stomach uses to be healthy. It's actually produced in some measure by the healthy bacteria in your gut, but you don't produce enough of that. And so if you supplement that, it helps skin. So who doesn't want better looking skin? So a lot of studies. Also with the skin, if you turn down inflammation, okay, if you rejuvenate, we have licensed Nrf2, which has a purifying mud, it has a toner and a serum. And when I first heard about this, again, I'm just telling you my story honestly as I can. I was like, you know what? I really like what I've been using for the last 3 years or so. It's got some Nrf2 in it, and I really like that. But I had a rash about like that I had on my upper thigh for several years. And I kept putting what I'd liked and used and had no problem with but it never helped that. So I told my wife, I said, you know what, maybe I'll try this new stuff. In about 4 days, it was almost completely gone. That got my attention. Why? Because that's something I experienced. Folks, I'm telling you my story, but my story can also inspire your story. When I began to take the link, in a matter of a month, I began to realize I was waking up refreshed and energized much earlier than I wake up before and still groggy. And so I began to see a lot of evidence of the mitochondria function increasing in my body. So Nrf2 and link, again, here's the difference in about 30 days from one to the other. Look at the difference in the skin, the texture, the inflammation, etc. Before and after using the product for 30 days. Absolutely amazing. Who doesn't want this, folks? It really works, okay? So we have GNMX, which is now in Mexico and is going to be expanding into other countries, that activates the Nrf2 protein, okay, which helps reduce oxidative stress. It takes about 2,000 genes and up and down regulates them to protect against aging, oxidative stress, the effects of the environment, etc. So it improves gene expression. Much better than the 2004 modular. So why are we excited? Now you know. But that's only half the story. Because just as the telephone technology has advanced, just as the epigenetic technology has advanced, also business models are advancing as well. And you can stick with an old business model, or you can say, you know what, I want to be part of something that is really growing. Now, something that won't change are some keys to success. And many of you may have seen this before, because I've been in network marketing companies before, and I've done fairly well. I've developed in each one of them a nice residual stream of income. And one thing that we're always taught is this, is that timing is so important. And in every company, whether I came when the company was 6 years going or 8 years going, they would always tell me, you are at the best timing. And then I would go to conferences and I would look at the top level people, the second to the top level people, and I realized that 90% of them were there the first year that the company started. Did they work hard? Yes. But there was a lot of other people working hard also that did not have that advantage of timing. Folks, Actives has started here just in the fourth quarter 2018. That statement right there is so, so powerful, which means you're hearing this and almost no one knows about it. So though there's been like maybe 8-10 years where people have been learning about Nrf2 technology, the timing of this breakthrough product is absolutely amazing. And on top of that, Actives has licensed any further development by Pathways, Bioscience, Dr. McCord, and the team there. So if they get something better, which Dr. McCord says they will, Actives has first rights for that. So timing is absolutely important. The company and the leadership. Remember how I told you that that first company brought in David Brown, they had Dr. McCord, and they had Ryan Thompson? All three of those are involved with Actives and the licensing with with Pathways Bioscience. They have taken a company before from 3 million to 230 million. That was a publicly shared company. But this time, they have their own money, their own skin in the game. Do you think that they will make good decisions for the company? You better believe. So the leadership, the integrity is absolutely impressive. The system, folks, we have a system. We're not going over the system in this, but we can get you started. We have a system to help you make $2,000 your first month. And the commissions. We're going to talk a little bit about the commissions because you're going to see something that's really, really powerful. So let's go on with this and first talk about a new way of doing business as independent distributors. And I'm going to talk to you about omni-channel platform. An omni-channel platform means there's many, many different ways to sell things. E-commerce. How many know a lot of people like to go to Amazon to buy things? Well, I've been in companies where the distributor's like, oh, I hate Amazon because I see some of our products on there and then they don't buy from me and that type of thing. And they look at e-commerce as a foe instead of a friend. We've solved that problem here. Social media. Advertising on social media and on TVs. No network marketing company does that but we do in omni-channel marketing and then direct network marketing. You say, well, how can you do all those things and aren't you competing? That's the genius of this. I call this, it's Nrf 2.0. This is compensation squared. Absolutely powerful. So many, many different income opportunities that we have with actives, multiple business centers, fast start bonus, royalty bonus, which comes month after month, rank advancement bonuses, a global bonus pool that starts at even mid-level, a legacy bonus, and a legend bonus, and loyalty rewards, product credits, and special promotions. So we're not going to go to all these. If you want to see the business compensation video in detail, there's a video on YouTube that you can just look actives compensation, and you can go to YouTube and find that. But like many, many companies, we have different levels. And let's just look at the A6 level. A6 level is 10,000 in volume. Now, here's the nice thing, is $1 US equals 1 point. So that's $10,000. There are some companies that I saw the other day that you needed you needed $14,000 to get 10,000 points, or maybe you needed 12,000 to get 10,000. Different companies. So 1-to-1 is more money in your pocket. You rank advance better. And for the levels up to A6, you only need $50 or 50 PV for a minimum purchase to get paid, which is very minimal. You can open up a second business center at A6, and each business center then should get 50 minimum. So as you grow, you get different business centers that you can earn double, triple bonuses or royalty income. But let's talk about the fast start bonus, because every person, customer, distributor, or retail customer that you bring into your business, the first month you get 20%. That goes then down or up 4 more levels. So it pays 5 different levels. And so if you have someone in your 5th level that enrolls a new preferred customer that first month, you would get 4%. If they're on your 3rd level, you will get 8%. And so you actually, as you're building your team, on the fast start bonus, you're getting commissions as well, down 5 levels. Now, the royalty bonus is paid every month on recurring orders for distributors, and the first level is 10%. And there's a lot of companies that is small. We pay 8 levels dynamically compressed. So let me ask you, or if you see on level 3, there on A2 you see RAB, also A4, A6, A8, and 10. Those are called rank advanced bonuses. Whenever you rank advanced that month, you get a one-time gift. And that can be anywhere from free product to hundreds or thousands of dollars. But the other thing that we have is we have loyalty rewards programs. So each month you place an order, you'll receive loyalty reward points towards product credits of 20, 25, or even 30%, rewarding you for your continued order of products. Also, when you become a distributor, enroll your first customer, you get 50 PV of product credit. That is amazing, because what that does is that is like $50 of free product that you get that you can share with other people, you can use yourself and your family. Enroll 5 customers in the first 30 days, 200 PV product credit, which is, again, a tremendous gift to you as to help encourage proper activity in your business. So timing, let's go back and talk about timing. The fact that we're just getting started here in the US is absolutely amazing. We're going to be opening Asia, we're going to be opening up Colombia, Peru, other places very soon. Folks, we are at an amazing time. Direct Selling Association says the first 135,000 distributors to join a network marketing company that has predictable success. Again, this leadership has a not just predictable, but a track record of success. You participate in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Folks, how about if you could take a couple of zeros off that 135,000? How about if you could know the very first year that a company is opening? If you take that and you run with that, you will have something absolutely amazing. Again, you're hearing my story. You're hearing how I came up with this. I was skeptical. I researched this for 3 months. I tested products. I did studies till finally I realized the truth of what was going on. And then I had to make a decision about my story. And I did something. If you're having a bad day, remember Ronald Wayne. He sold 10% of his Apple partnership when he thought, well, I don't know if they're going to make it. Don't be Ronald Wayne. If you want more information, you can look at the compensation plan on YouTube. Just search out Active's compensation plan. You can get it in English. You can get it in Spanish. If you want more opportunity on products or videos, you can go to the website activation2.com and get more information. If you like what you've seen here, then go to whoever showed you this video, showed you this information, and say, I'm ready to begin to make my own story with Actives. So thank you. God bless you. I trust that this information was helpful. You take care. Have a good night.